I've wanted to do this for a while. Go somewhere alone for a few days with no internet or screens or human interactions to speak of. To spend time with myself, quietly reflecting on life, events past and events coming. And I've been scared to do this for a while too. But here's the thing, I finally did it. And I did it because I was scared. But more on that later. I arrived at this remote off-grid cabin, surrounded by woods and pastures, only to find myself reined in for the rest of the days, which was actually perfect. It was even more quiet and introverted than I initially planned. The idea was this. I'd spend a few nights in this off-grid cabin, completely disconnected from the outside world. First things first, I locked away my phone and unplugged fully. I also got a map, a compass, and a camera. And of course, my journal. I wanted to take pictures. I wanted to record this experience. On the first night, I cooked for myself and journaled by a dim light and listened to an eerie owl hooting outside. It was absolutely wonderful. It was a peaceful beginning to a few days with myself. It was something I wanted to do, but I didn't know I needed this so much. And then morning came. The stormy winds at night brought in more rain. Clouds settled in a thick mist for a while, which I watched for hours from the comfort of my bed. It's strange waking up in the morning without checking the phone first thing. There were no emails to look at, no news, no social media, no sitting down in front of a laptop screen for the rest of the day. You know how it is, working away until the sun sets again. The same thing on repeat, day after day. And I admit, at first I did feel a little lost, perhaps even guilty. I wondered, what am I going to do with myself for the rest of the day? I only have myself to deal with, to look after, to think about. Of course, I'm not switched off completely. There is still the camera on my trusty tripod, following my every step. I brought my work with me, even to the most remote place, but it's still stuck there with me, with limited battery power that will die off eventually too. So I went on long walks in the surrounding forest. Not a soul crossed my path, except for horses and sheep on the nearest pasture. Not a soul I had the chance to speak to over these days. I imagined myself a character in an adventure story, a wanderer exploring new paths and in turn discovering myself. I think about my journey so far. I'm eager to share my experiences, which to me are absolutely new and scary in their unfamiliarity. But there are people who literally live out in the wild. They go camping in tents, live alone, live out of their van. experiences much more remote or lonely or wilder than mine. Maybe you're one of those people. But to me, this was challenging. I had my own fears that I was conquering by myself, bit by bit. Perhaps it wouldn't be quite smart to throw myself into the extremes right away. I like the comfort as well. I'm not going to lie. But sometimes I want to do these things, which to me are scary, even though to someone else they might seem like a no-brainer type of situation. The thing is, I love spending time alone, but I've never done it for a few days like this. Usually, whenever I'm alone, I rely on other visual media to keep me company. I switch on movies or YouTube videos in the background that fill the silent void. But on this long evening in solitude, this time with an absence of technology, I didn't have that medium to fall back on. The only thing I had was myself, my journal, my pen, my manuscript for the memoir I'm writing. I didn't even have music. I didn't have the internet with its endless stream of suggested songs after my playlist has already ended. So I was on my own. By day 3, I realized that I craved human connection. I went to look at my phone and check my messages and maybe call someone. But I also realized that I want more of this solitude, more vastness surrounding me, more magical views outside my window. There is this never-ending battle in me of wanting to stay connected, to share my experience online, to make friends with strangers that I might never meet in the real world, but also to spend time alone and absorb everything with all my senses, with every inch of my body, get soaked under the rain, or wake up to a
Okay.
rare, beautiful sunrise, to listen to owls and bats flutter outside at night.
Well, I'm going to get started working on my patio a little bit more. So I'll show you what that looks like.
And to share this experience with a select few, or perhaps nobody. But then it's inevitable coming back to the real world and connecting again. And you know what? Both sides of life are beautiful in their own way. I realize how grateful I am to have this connection, whether online or in real life, to have people to share these experiences with, and how blissful it is to escape every once in a while.
This spot is where the original cabin sat. It was built in 1918 and no longer exists, but this space was kind of flat, so I decided to turn it into a patio. You can see I put the stones here. And I'm planting some grass seed. Actually, already did plant the grass seed. And you can sort of see it coming up a little bit. See? There you go. A little bit of grass seed coming up. And I need to water it. But also, I wanted to work on this other project that I have. Basically, I have seen this idea before in pictures and on Pinterest, and it was a really clever idea where you get like this barrel and it's pouring out. It looks, when I put on the flowers and they're supposed to be blue, then it'll look like water flowing out of the can. So I thought that would be really cool. So I'll show you what this is. Yeah, that was the closest I could find to what I was looking for, and these were on sale, so that's what I got. So I'm going to plant them now.
I think I'm going to do this more often from now on. Balance the communication with solitude and going off on a journey alone, completely unplugged, but also to tell my stories about it. Or at least to have no technology days in the comfort of my own home, but maybe also to share that moment with someone special. I think this is a good start. What do you think? Thank you for joining me on this journey today. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you again soon.